So, oh man, got ice water starter. So it's a man in the building. In the building, oh, I'm sorry. Hey, oh, I know I'm high.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Another week, another episode, another new review and reaction from yours truly, E. Gray at the E. Gray Report. So, first off, let's start by saying thank you, everybody, again, for every new subscriber that has subscribed to this channel, that has watched these videos, that have really left comments and really kind of, for lack of a better word, mess with me about these videos. I don't want to say fuck with me, but you know, those that fuck with me, those that appreciate the videos that I post. So I want to say thank you to everybody. So, first off, this review is not going to be another episode of Janky Promoters review and reactions to Ready to Love. Last week in the comments, it was one new subscriber, one commenter. She had me rolling. She was like, look, your video's a little janky. And it was me and my interactions with the staff over here at the country club. I apologize about that. I will not interact with anybody during this review except you, the reviewers. If anybody comes in, if anybody talks to me, once again, I will cut it and edit it out, so that won't be a problem. I've already got my drink. I got my Pokey Special, so you don't have to worry about anybody bringing me a drink. It is not going to be a Jelly Roll Productions. If you don't know who Jelly Roll is, go back and look at the movie. Go to, I think, Netflix or somewhere and find a movie, Janky Promoters with Ice Cube and what's my boy, Mike Epps, Jelly Roll. So it will not be a Jelly Roll Productions today. Another thing it will not be, it won't be a 51-minute video. The fact that so many of y'all actually sat through and watched that review, I don't know how I got to 51 minutes. I didn't think I talked that long. I don't know if it was the interactions with the staff or what. It will not be 51 minutes. Matter of fact, I'm going to try to keep this under 20 minutes. If you look at the rest of the reviews, they never was that long. I apologize to you. But the fact that you actually stayed through it, you watched it, which is something that I'm not going to say I wouldn't have watched the review. That was 51 minutes long, but I would tell you it would have took me about 2 or 3 days to get through it. I appreciate it. This will not be a 51-minute review. And once again, I can't remember that commenter's name. She's a subscriber. She had me rolling about my Janky Promoters style video. So this won't be janky. So let's get to the point. So at the end of last week's review, I said sabotage season is coming. So I went into it with this theme saying, okay, obviously we've already had the guys meeting the friends. So that's one reason it's sabotage season. But I forgot about it. I don't remember if they did this last season, but this whole meeting your exes, I don't even understand the premise or the concept behind that outside of the fact that it just makes good TV. Like, why would you bring the ex of a contestant, especially a man, onto the video to do, what's the point? Onto the show. I mean, you don't know what someone's angle is, what their motives are. I think throughout this episode, I'll give the women who were the exes the credit. I think they did a good, genuine job of not being too biased, but I just don't get it. Outside of making good TV, I don't understand it. Then another thing that I thought about that popped in my mind, like I said, I'm not really big on the whole Twitter and Instagram side of following a lot of the castmates. Even though I do follow them, I'm not, on Twitter. I know the Twitter conversation between some of the subscribers or some of the viewers of the show and the actual cast. I know that's something that's a little bit more direct. I don't really do that. But I know that, there was this huge little thing going on about the colorism and Mario and thinking that he kind of treated Nina wrong because her being dark-skinned and, the fact he liked Tündi because she's light-skinned and all this other back and forth. But, like I said, I think his ex-wife was a brown-skinned woman and obviously his ex-girlfriend is. So I just wonder if he kind of silenced those critics of people thinking that he's just smitten behind Tündi because she's light-skinned. I don't know. But the first date, well, I ain't gonna call it a date, but the first meeting of the exes was between Mario and Tündi. And like I said before, I kind of came into this week thinking, okay, this is sabotage season. I did not see this coming as far as meeting the exes. That's just something that I did not see coming. Like I said, I don't remember them doing it from the first season, but I will tell you this. I thought the thing was going to be sabotaged. But I left this episode, and especially after the first scene with Mario and Tündi, like, I'm just confused. Have any of y'all really been dating the person that you say y'all been dating? Like, have y'all even had any true in-depth conversation? Because obviously it's not. So Mario and Tündi get together. His ex-girlfriend is there, sitting in his apartment or his place, his home, condo, whatever you want to call it. You know, he's cooking dinner or cooking a meal for them, and they're going back and forth, and that's fine. But, you know, when Tündi arrives, she comes in, they have this conversation, she meets the ex-girlfriend, and the first thing comes up is him and his, I guess, I don't want to say it's full controlling, but he even admits that he's kind of a control freak, his controlling ways in a relationship. He said that during the casting review, that was kind of an issue of his. You saw that with the interaction between him and Tündi at the pool, but it's like, okay, Tündi, do you not realize that this dude kind of has a serious control issue? Have you not, excuse the noise, there's people moving tables in the background, but have you not had any true conversations? You know, the fact that y'all have been together and you really haven't done your due diligence about each other, I'm just left just kind of baffled. Like, what have you been doing? Like, have y'all just been having sex? Like, is it just a physical thing, or is it just what? And I think it's just the difference between the cast last season and this season. Or maybe it's me. I don't know. I've heard from a lot of subscribers, a lot of reviewers, and a lot of viewers of the show that it's just a difference between last season or the first season's cast and this season. I mean, I've heard people say they just need to revamp the whole thing. I kind of feel that way. But I don't know. Maybe it's just the personalities of the people. So another thing that comes out of this meeting is this idea. Okay. So I made a statement once before, and I had a couple of viewers kind of comment about it when I said, if I was on the show, and if I was one of the men on the show, I would get the bros together, and we would have had a conversation about these women. And here's a perfect example why. Who knew that Tündi and Reva had a legitimate relationship or a friendship, or at least, you know, association with each other outside of this show? They've been knowing each other for the past 5 years. Even Mario was struck by it. And it's like, that's what I meant when I said that if I was on the show, I definitely would have brought the guys together, you know, without even nephew Tommy there, and we would have talked, you know, just to kind of just understand what's going on. And there was one commenter on one of my videos. She was like, well, you know, this is about competition, about you trying to find your love. It's not about the men getting together and essentially kind of conspiring against the women. That wasn't what I was talking about. This is what I'm saying. Women are going to talk to each other. Men have a bad habit of not communicating with each other. That's one of the biggest things when it comes to the difference between men and women. You know, a lot of times people like to say, well, women are smarter than men. You know, women are always going to catch a man cheating because a man's going to make mistakes, or a woman's going to have all that stuff together. No, it's not. That's BS, in my opinion. The truth of the matter is, women communicate with each other. A man could be with a woman, it could have another chick on the side, and we've seen this many times. How many times did another woman call another woman and tell her, I'm with your man? Or you call a friend and say, I seen your husband, I seen your man, maybe off doing this and that, and it may be on a level. It may not be anything negative. Women communicate with each other. Men do not. You cannot tell me that Tündi and Reva ain't had a conversation about Mario. It just don't make sense to me. It just really don't. It's no way that it does. And this is what I'm talking about. When I said this over a number of episodes, I would have got these people together. I would have got Reva together. Now, my thing is this. If you're Mario, you're sitting here trying to figure out what's going on with you and Reva. She got a block up. Tündi and Reva know each other. As we kind of figure out, they got a pass with each other. So these two women probably really don't, under the surface, they probably don't really like each other. Because obviously there was another situation with another man. And as Tündi said, it was her man. And Reva was kind of approaching him. If you would talk, if you would communicate better, us as men, you may be able to unpack some things that can help you going on. These women are going to run their mouth, they're going to talk. That's like a perfect example when you get married. Older women, family members are going to give women the game. They get together and talk. With men, you get married, your daddy, your uncle, somebody, they favorite statements. You going to do that there, boy? No, talk to me. Explain to me what's going on. This is what I mean by getting them together and communicating. And so, Mario, at this point, I'm pretty sure in his mind, he thought that he was really controlling this situation. And as I said before, if you don't ask these questions, if you're not thinking when you're dealing with a woman, man, you'll find yourself thinking that you're in control and you having game run around you like a circle. And even you could see it in that scene. By the time he was just trying to figure this out, they're like, hold on, they know each other? What the hell's going on? And we see that later on in the preview to next week's episode that it's going to come to a head. We have been seeing that cut scene forever, but I didn't know it was about Reva and Tündi and the fact that they knew each other. Why? Because you were sitting here trying to be a player, and as some of the female strivers say, you trying to do the Morris Chestnut deal. These two know each other. They got a history. I don't know. So we moved to Darrin and Aseema. And like I said, at some point, Darrin was going to show his true colors. And I don't think it's in a negative way. I think this dog situation is a deal killer. And I think Darrin knows that. At this point, in my opinion, I think Darrin is checked out of Aseema. And I think Aseema, and as we see it at the end of the episode when they get together again, I think Aseema is trying to hold on to this because I think she's realizing that, hey, I'm losing grips on this guy. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Like I said, I like to go through the episode. I don't like to skip around. I like to, kind of follow the episode, make my comments, and just see if I'm on the right track. So Darrin and Aseema get together. And it's obvious after seeing Darrin's ex-girlfriend, Courtney, and I think she's an attractive woman. Darrin has a type. He surely does. His ex-girlfriend, and I think she's a little bit more into fitness, but she's bright-skinned. Now, this is where your colorism may come in. She's bright-skinned. She looks like she's kind of tall. She's at least 5'7" or 5'8" or taller. I think Aseema is a taller, kind of a bigger woman. Not in a bad way, but, just stature. He has a type. You can tell that Darrin has a type. Maybe I missed the fact that he had a 15-year-old son. I think I knew he had a son, but I know he was 15. And so my thing is, after this meeting at the house in these dog situations, man, I think it's a wrap. I think Aseema, I don't know what the future's going to show. Maybe they'll rock together, but I think it's just a wrap. Just in real time watching that first scene, it's done. Those dogs are going to be a deal breaker for him. And also, is another thing that I saw out of Aseema, and she mentioned that, I think because she mentioned that usually she turns into the homegirl, and she kind of has that stigma. I think when she saw his ex-girlfriend and saw that, she is a really attractive woman, I think you could see that started eating away her ego and had her confidence and her self-esteem. She said it wasn't, but it was. And the truth of the matter is, man, I think it's just a wrap. I think it's just done. And I'm left with the confused question again. What the hell have y'all been talking about? Y'all have been so just in each other's faces. Like, what have you been doing? I'm confused. Like, I'm seriously confused about what these folks have been doing. Like, have y'all not had any real unsuperficial, conversations? Have you went to the next level? Or you just BSing in front of the camera? Like, I'm just so confused about this. I don't know. Like the dog situation. I would have thought Darrin would have mentioned that he has dogs. As much as he seems to love his dogs, he should have mentioned that. And I would assume that Aseema would have known that. Have you not been to his house yet? I don't know, man. I'm just confused. I think that's my theme walking out of this episode. I am confused about what y'all have been doing over these episodes and over these weeks or months or however long you film this show. Like, what have you been doing? So I'm done with Darrin and Aseema. I think that's just a wrap. I think that's just a matter of time, and we'll get back to them later on. Alexis and Carrie, and they awkward ass date with his ex-girlfriend, who seemed like she was getting somehow stimulated by forcing them to kiss each other. The OG is just, like I said before, and I think all of us know this. We've all kind of come to a consensus on this. It wasn't fair to have someone in their 50s on this show, and everybody else is essentially in their mid to early 40s or in their 30s. It makes no sense. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. He's in a different place in his life, and it just made no sense. That total lunch deal was just awkward as hell. I don't get it. I think the fact that there was another woman there with Alexis, I think you saw her competitiveness come out. But I think you also saw the fact that when she loses control, Alexis goes into kind of a small little cocoon. Like, she really doesn't know how to work when she's not controlling the narrative. And at that point, you see she checked out. And once again, I have no problem with her saying, you know what, I'm out. You forcing a kiss. This situation just uncomfortable. It's awkward. So I get it. So we done with that, because that whole scene confused the hell out of me. I don't understand it. I really just don't. Tündi and Darrin. So here we go. Darrin is on the prowl. Darrin has made it up in his mind, especially after that date with Aseema. That, look, man, I moved on. I think Darrin is checked out. So he goes to meet Tündi, and I go back to this. You can tell that Darrin has a type. I think Darrin likes some light-skinned. There's nothing wrong with that. I think all women are beautiful. It doesn't matter what shade of black you are. Black women are the sexiest thing walking the earth. And all women are sexy. Let's just get that out there. I don't care about what race or nationality you are. But I think Darrin is checked out. At this point, Darrin is on a prowl. I think he's looking for somebody else. I think Aseema needs to watch out, because she doesn't have a connection with any other guy. She has put the clamps down on Darrin. And next episode, she may find herself the odd woman out. Between her and Reva, because if we notice, Reva didn't go on a date with anybody. Didn't meet anybody exes. I'm just saying. So, that was a quick look back and forth between him and Tündi. It seems like there's something there. I think what we found out, like I said, Darrin has been texting women on the side, and I don't think it's a negative thing. I think that's a part of the course of being on the show. But I think Aseema just had her clamps down on Darrin so much that I think it's just going to bite her in the butt. That's just the truth. So we move down to London and Alexis. And so London starts off the scene, and I still didn't get that all correct, because I didn't go back and watch it more than one time. I watched it this morning. London with his ex-girlfriend, who's a nice, attractive woman. He got into this three personalities of London. Is Lundo, or something else. I don't know, a D-Lap, But my thing is this: for whatever reason, I just assume all three of them personalities just like to take strange sips of their drink when they get in a conversation. Because this fool, every time somebody says something to him, he looking in that cup. I just wonder what's in these cups that's giving him answers. I'm just trying to figure that out. Go back and watch it. Anytime he has a conversation, this boy has to look in the cup, and I think that cup is giving him something. It's giving him some juice. But I will give London credit on this. So his ex meets Alexis. And I give his ex a lot of credit in the fact that I think she cornered Alexis. And as we saw with the scene with the older lady, with OG Carrie's ex-girlfriend, and as we saw with Divine last week when she came and she met with London, and she was like, look here, this Divine situation, you just need to go ahead and eliminate that. Alexis is competitive, but I think it's some underlying self-esteem issues or something going on with Alexis. Because when she gets around a woman that is willing to kind of step up and match her, you can call it competitiveness coming out, but you can tell that she doesn't like being challenged. She likes to be in control. So I don't know at what point in her life that she wasn't in control. I don't know if she was in a relationship where she got played horribly by a man, or, like I said, if there's some unresolved issues somewhere in her personal life or some demons there, but you can tell she does not like losing control. And that kind of shuts her down. And I give London credit for finally speaking some truth for the first time kind of on this show. He kept it transparent. He kept it 10 toes down with Alexis when she kind of brought up the idea about the other woman, about Divine. And he said, look, My relationship with Divine and my relationship with you are separate. So it has nothing to do with each other. If I could tell you right now who I want to be with, I wish I could do that. And you can see that finally he kind of broke through because he told the truth to her. But even in her physical demeanor, you could see that shield that she had up, it started to break down. And it started to become an issue. So, my thing is, a lot of women like that, a lot of people like that, and I say women, that have that super strong persona and personality, sometimes it's not really the truth. Sometimes it's just a facade because they're really weak. They're really fragile on the inside. Divine and Brent end up going on a date, and once again, man, I just took off from the idea that I think Divine's just horny on that date. I mean, she just seemed, every time Divine took a sip out of that drink, it seemed like she was saying to herself, I'm about to give it to him. I may give it to him in a car. He may get it before we walk out the restaurant, but he about to get this thing. He may get another round in the morning. So I don't know what their relationship is or what their attraction is outside of being physical. I do know that there is chemistry there. It's sexual chemistry. And, once again, Divine, when she starts sipping them drinks, man, and I'm not going to get into that. But the point is this. I just think that Divine, I think that she's just trying to find somebody that can possibly be a match because I think she's trying to get London's attention. If I was London, I don't know. I just feel like you could have just kind of dropped Alexis because Alexis is, I don't know how serious she is about you. I think she kind of exposed some of that this episode that, hey, there is an attraction to London. There is something I want to pursue. But a part of it is like, how much is it that you just want to beat Divine out for London? I just see that. Like, it just, I don't know. Alexis is a hard nut to crack, man. And like I said from the beginning, I would have put my brain together or brain trust together and brainstorming with other guys about what's going on with Alexis, what's going on with all these women. So there was a scene real quick with Reva, and I just want to mention this to Reva because I think it goes back to her issue, her problem with Mario. It was a quick little cut scene where Reva, I think when she was explaining where I never met his ex, and the makeup level was just so toned down, and it's like she is fine as hell. It's like, what are you building up? And I always say this about women. When you see a woman that has too much makeup on, has a lot of excessive makeup, what are you hiding? What's going on with that? I don't know. I think she's trying to hide herself. I think she's trying to save herself from exposure. I don't know if she doesn't want to get hurt or there's something behind that, but that's going to obviously show. Like I said, I think Alexis needs to leave Divine alone. You can see that she was being real catty about Divine when Divine mentioned Brent. It's like, I thought you wasn't messing with Brent. I thought the Brent and Alexis show was over. But as soon as she said Brent, she got competitive. And it's like, look, man, you got to leave that alone. You got to focus on what you want to focus on. If it's London, which we now know it is because you eliminated OG Carey, focus on London. You are too busy focused on Divine. It's like, I just don't get that. I don't get it. I don't know. But once again, like I said, I promise y'all that I'm going to keep this review short. So I'm about to be out. Please like the video, hit the button, subscribe to the channel, hit the button, comment, because I love going back and forth with the comments. And also, take out your phone, go to Instagram, subscribe to my Instagram. I really would like to do this before this season is so over. I really like to go live on Instagram, doing an episode, and just talk to you guys in real time about what we see, about what's going on. I love the conversation. I love the comments. It's been great. I've enjoyed it so much. I've enjoyed, like I said, all the people that have subscribed, all the new subscribers to come. The fact that you've sat through these videos, I appreciate it. Once again, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you next week. Enjoy your week.